Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Scrubcast. I am your Scrub host, Solaris Quixote, also known as Solaris X. This episode, I am going to be following none other than the General. The General of NAVI. He's not actually the General, he's just a player, but he's a very good one. He plays Batrider like nobody's business, and I wanted to follow. He's actually known for playing Batrider, and I've watched many games with him playing a Batrider, and boy, does he do a good job, and he makes things happen. He changes the game for the enemy, and commentators, have remarked, God, does this guy always get a solo kill in his lane? Does that always happen? It's ridiculous. So I want to watch General, and I want to see how he does what he does, which is what the Scrubcast does. The Scrubcast follows a particular hero throughout an entire match. I might shift to a couple other perspectives or just kind of see what's going on. For the most part, I put it in player perspective, and I just watch what the player is watching because I want to learn from the player. I want to be able to play this hero knowing what the hero knows, the player knows at the time. So if it's all dark on the map and there's no wards anywhere, what do? If the team is smoked, what position are they in? Where are they positioned? All kinds of little decisions that make a big impact on the game that you don't see when you're watching these regular podcasts or videocasts or whatever you call it, vodcasts. And they do a great job of showing you the overall game and the strategy overall and how it comes together in some harmonious way, but they don't show you the individual heroes. So I want to follow General. I had just followed Art Style in a previous match. This is actually game 2 of a series of NAVI versus Polarity. And Art Style played a killer Witch Doctor. Really good job. And the thing is, he made it look good, but he didn't do anything super crazy. He just cast. It was a good pick for the lineup. It was a good pick for what the enemy team had, for what Polarity had. And he just cast his little cask, his paralyzing cask, and had his Voodoo Restoration up and cast Death Ward as soon as he could in pretty much every team fight, and it just won. He just won. Like, he won the lane, he won the other lane, he won another lane, and he rotated around, he was winning all kinds of crazy things. So he did a really good job. In this game, I'm watching General and the Batrider. The lineup here is IO, Batrider, Shadow Shaman, Ursa, Wind Ranger. Dendi and Wind Ranger means that's a mid-Wind Ranger. Dicha Ra on the Ursa is going to be a safe lane Ursa, probably protected by Art Style and Shadow Shaman. He might roam around and gank a little bit. IO is going to be supporting the Wind Ranger or the Ursa. I'm guessing the Ursa in this particular case, though he might roam. I'm not sure what they're going to do with the IO here. That's going to be Seneko in the IO. We've got Vengeful Spirit on the other team. Doom, Puck, Sven, Broodmother. The last pick Broodmother there, interesting. I did cast a scrub cast with the last pick Broodmother played by KP on Newbie. And I think it was KP on Newbie. It was very good. They did a good job. He did everything he needed to do, and I think they ended up winning the game. I do not know how to pronounce this guy's name. Kare? I don't know. Zare? Don't really know. Summer something. I can't remember his name. Afanije? I don't know if that's actually how you pronounce it. Pasha and DK Phobos. Those are the two I know to pronounce. But this lineup that they're going up, that Navi's going up against, and just to kind of give some context here, Navi will pick a Batrider very often, and especially they'll pick it. I almost any lineup as far as I can tell. I haven't done it like an analysis comparing, one lineup after another of Navi. I might want to do that in a different video down the road, but this Batrider and IO was picked into a Vengeful Spirit, I think. And so, no real craziness up here in the beginning. This is not a last pick Batrider. This is just General being General. This is him doing a very good job. But what he's got to go up against here is the swap of Vengeful Spirit, which is interesting. That I'm guessing they had first pick here. So IO to Doom, and then so they pick Batrider into the Vengeful Spirit, and typically Vengeful Spirit is a great counter to the Batrider because the Vengeful Spirit's ult is a swap, and it swaps places. Batrider's Flaming Lasso latches onto somebody, the Vengeful Spirit swaps that person to safety. A very good counter to Batrider. So they picked the Batrider into the Vengeful Spirit, which shows you how much confidence they have in General's play. Doom, another good hero that counters Batrider pretty well. Puck, a silence on a Batrider is a nasty thing, although once he's got his Firefly up. We'll go through the spells, but once Batrider has Firefly up, he should be okay. Sven, Batrider to the front of the line. If somebody gets a stun on Batrider, that Sven's going to run there and kick the crap out of Batrider. Broodmother, actually, Batrider does decently against Broodmother because of the Firefly flame damage, the AoE flame damage. So not the best pick. It's clear they don't want to, lane a Broodmother against a Batrider. It's clear this is going to be a Sven Vengeful Spirit lane against a Batrider. That's how this is going to go. Puck in mid versus Dendy in the Wind Ranger. And then I guess a Broodmother probably solo off lane with kind of a roaming, farming, jungling Doom. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into the gameplay and see what happens here. Summer Soul, that's his name. Okay. So, starting off, Batrider has 4 Tangos, got a Clarity, got Boots of Speed, and Iron Branch. And let's just go through the abilities real fast here. Sticky Napalm, an ability that is kind of an AoE rate. It's got this radius, a 325 radius, and it will put a damage buff, basically, on the hero. And a slow. It slows the movement speed and turn speed of the enemies in that area. And so it'll increase the damage over if you get more stacks. That's a lot less against creeps. But you get this extra damage per stack, and I think you can have 6 stacks, something like that. Maybe you just go as high as you want. Maybe I've seen as high as 6 stacks, but that's 6 times a 25 per hit. So that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of damage. Each additional hit. And so this is a really good ability to have early on in the game, because I've seen, a Batrider in lane be able to put down 4 or 5 stacks of Sticky Napalm and just go in on the enemy. The enemy can't do anything. Keep in mind, they've only got like 600, 700 health most of the time. The Flame Break, it's basically just a little bit of, it's kind of a AoE moving spell. It bursts kind of the area, the ground, where they target it, and it kind of pushes people in a direction away from the center of the where it hit, a little radius blowback kind of a thing. Does a little bit of damage per second. That's not really why people get Flame Break. They get it because it does this pushback, and usually you can hurl this Flame Break out to an area right where the enemy's trying to walk, and you'll push the enemy back into your gank. That's generally speaking how Flame Break is used. Firefly, this is probably the key ability to Batrider, because everything else kind of works with this. It is a ability that allows the Batrider to fly over areas. He gets up into the sky, and he's able to fly over trees and all kinds of other stuff. And he leaves a trail of flames. And that flames per second is not bad, especially if you combine it with Sticky Napalm. And start harassing the enemy. You can do a ridiculous amount of damage. They just sit there. You don't realize how much damage that's doing. And it sits around for 18 seconds. It's a decent radius, too. Pretty low cooldown, 40-second cooldown. So that's a nice spell. Really kind of changes the game. Gives him unobstructed movement. That unobstructed movement is really what helps him change the game there, especially if you combine it with the Flaming Lasso, which, by the way, does pierce spell immunity. He grabs them. He pulls them. They basically can't do anything. They can't move, attack, use abilities. So you can break the lasso pretty easily. Friends can, but you can't. Obviously, you're in the lasso. The duration goes from 3.5 to 4. The range is not that. It's pretty small tether range, only 400, and the damage is not that good. It's not crazy. The scepter tether range, I guess, maybe increases the tether range. I don't know what the natural tether range is. Well, looks like it's about that. So I don't know, but basically he's actually an int hero, which is kind of weird. But with boots, look how much move speed he has. And you can tell why he would have boots of speed, being able to go through the jungle, do his thing. He has very low base damage. 41 base damage is very, very low, and he has only 2 armor. He starts off with 636 health. We'll go ahead and go through this. Kind of watch. You got Seneko on the IO. Wisp following the GeneRal there. Not able to catch up very well, though, because he doesn't have the Seneko. I don't think Seneko has boots. No, he doesn't. He's saving for that bottle, which is very important. But he uses the tether to catch up. And so they go do an early ward mission down here, and I'm pretty sure the reason why they do that is so, although Seneko, I thought Seneko would want to be stacking these things and taking these things for himself. Maybe what he's doing is he's stopping the Doom from jungling and being able to pressure him in lane, because Doom would be the one that would be in this area and probably taking some of these creeps. So it might be forcing Doom out of this area. Also, just to know whether he's going to get ganked, that's important. He needs to get that level 2 flaming or Firefly before he's able to really be able to escape from these ganks. You can see that the way he plays this is as soon as enemy gets in range, he starts casting Sticky Napalm. It's only 20 mana. I mean, it's not a lot of mana, and he starts stacking that up on people, and all of a sudden they're going to die.
The battle begins.
And you're even potentially hitting people you don't even know where they are because it's an AoE radius. Let's look at that radius. You see it? Well, thanks GeneRal for being so erratic. Okay, so I don't know if that was intentional, but he leaves the first guy to go, and then he does this really awesome stop here, stops the lane, does a really good job. I cannot do that. I'm too scrubby for that kind of high level creep stopping. Look at that. What does he have, like a joystick? Okay, so goes ahead and puts the Sticky Napalm on the Venge, pushes the Venge back a little bit. Io's going to be actually laning with GeneRal. That's powerful. Look at how much damage that's doing already. 3 stack of Sticky Napalm. He's already doing a ton of damage. He only has 41 base damage. So that just goes to show you the power of the Sticky Napalm. Every single stack he's got on there, he's going to do an extra, 10 damage. So he's doing 51, then 61, then 71, every single hit. And now it's going to be doing that damage, his damage plus the Seneko IO damage. And that damage is actually higher, I think, 47. So, yeah, a Wisp does more stack damage, or more base damage than a Batrider. So he's denying. He's sitting here in lane. He's pushing out the enemies. This is why I think Batrider is so good in lane. He's getting last hits. Probably going to get rune control here as soon as the 2-minute mark comes out. We'll see what time he leaves. Let's get this creep wave probably. And he actually misses some farm here. Best thing. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and probably grab rune control now. He might even threaten the Vengeful Spear a little bit. Yep, he could potentially kill that Vengeful Spirit. He's got the Firefly. He's going to put the flames on top. He's going to hit it a little bit. Just a little bit more damage. And he also steals the creep wave while he's at it, by the way, which is helpful. Does not have rune control here. He's going to give up that rune. And looks like GeneRal actually gets a kill on... Who was that? I guess that's the Doom over there. So the Doom is over there. So they go to check out the rune. So Io does get a bounty rune, bottles it up, uses it. And the creep wave is pulled over here to the left. Not sure why he pulled it around there. Maybe just to position it. Not really sure. Might not have been a big deal. He is not putting stacks of Sticky Napalm on these creeps. He's almost back to full mana, by the way, even after casting all that Sticky Napalm. He does not seem to be using against creeps, and that makes sense. The damage bonus to creeps is like halved, I think. Yeah, it's halved. So, once again, he's going to be able to force out these two here. Now, he is at risk of dying here. He's got the Firefly. He cast that immediately. They potentially going to kill him, but the Firefly just too strong, just too good. Be able to fly and obstruct. The enemy can't do that. Enemy can't chase. And you get the IO with the bottle, and all of a sudden, Batrider is powerful. 2 stacks on Sven. Sven does have, I say it's 4 stacks on Sven? Yeah, it's 4 stacks on Sven, but there's a creep wave pushing, so Snaker's not going to be able, or GeneRal, actually, he's going to forget the creep wave. He's going to go in on anyway. That's 6 stacks. Look at how much damage he does per additional hit. He actually loses the eye, but he's going to get this kill for sure. There it is. Even gets the salve in the process. He got the flame break back up again, so he's almost going to always have this flame break, because by the time that it expires, it's almost back up again. He's able to get the hell out of dodge, kill himself on a Roshan to avoid having to run all the way back to base. And Art Style being saved by an IO. Potentially going to kill, yeah, he used his little, how do they call those things? The little wisp balls. Get the kill on the Doom. Spirits. Yeah. Spirits. So, General's back. That's one of the advantages of being... Oh, he's going to go ahead. Oh, my gosh. With a little bit of stun, General's going to be able to potentially kill Pasha here again, and he will kill Pasha. He kills him before Artstyle's able to kill him, even with those little Doomlings running around. So the General is just, he's stacking the sticky napalm, he's stacking the Firefly, and you do that, and you can start killing people in lane. And I think people just don't realize the power of this. This is why this is why they pick General, because he can actually suppress the enemy. Now there's an Invis rune there on Vengeful Spirit. He's not going to be able to get away from this one, I'm guessing. The Firefly is not quite up yet. He actually is getting away. So they still aren't able to get this. He's probably going to go, he might kill himself again on the Roshan, or just walk his way back to base. He might just go ahead and take a little bit of farm here. He's at big risk of dying though. No Invis rune though, so they just use an Invis rune. So he actually has the boots. He already picked up the Tranquil boots. He doesn't have to leave the lane. So convenient for him. He actually is going back anyway. That's interesting to me. I'm surprised he didn't. I guess the creep wave is going to be pushing down. He does have that ward to the left, so he can potentially see ganks. But maybe he wants to be able to TP elsewhere. Maybe he wants to get some other items. Yeah, it picks up a couple of dust of appearances. Figures maybe it's time to go missing off the map. Scare the heck out of some enemies. He's close to level 6. Might get a level 6 off the map for the enemy. Might go ahead and get some creeps. Now maybe Artstyle's been stacking some creep camps over here. We'll see. So that General can get a level 6 here. He's going to want a fast blink dagger. They always want a fast blink dagger on a Batrider. He may come over here to help pressure the Brood, but he doesn't quite have level 6, so he cannot get a lasso without a level 6.
Bottom tower is under attack.
So it looks like they're going to use it to push. There's the dust. That's what they're doing. They're trying to pressure this Brood Mother. That didn't work. Blew the dust. Didn't get anybody. So we TP down bottom and try to hit a few creeps and push the Vengeful Spirit out of the lane. Gonna go ahead and use his Clarity now. And he's got a magic wand there. Yep. And that makes a lot of sense. He needs to be able to regenerate mana in lane if possible. Generate a little bit of health if possible. A couple of times his ability to, if he had ability to regenerate health, he could potentially turn a fight. And that makes sense. The way he fights with this hero is the enemy is taking way more damage per second than they realize they're doing. And so they might want to go in on him thinking, well, they're going to get that kill, so they'll go all in. Well, last second he pops this magic wand. Of course, there's also the fact that you're going up against a Vengeful Spirit and a Sven, both going to cast a decent number of spells there and build up stacks in that magic wand. Comes team fight. He's got the Flaming Lasso. He's going to Firefly up on the hill. He's probably going to grab this Doom or maybe the Sven. There, he's going to grab the Sven. He's got the Flaming Lasso, the Lasso damage and the Firefly damage. He's going to probably cast his Sticky Napalm on one of these guys. Gosh, his team is just wrecking at this point. Seneco's even escaping the kill. He might go ahead and try to kill this Doom, keep putting pressure on it, because if Artstyle can get that little stun off, then they might be able to get it. And does he have enough mana? Nope. Oh, and there is the Dendi Shackle. Probably going to get that kill with this Napalm stacks. They don't get the kill. They actually, he actually dies, and I'm sure that Pasha's going to get the last hit there. Yep. God Strength on Pasha, the Sven cast, doesn't matter. Dendi's able to get out. General's able to get out on the Batrider, and that's why you get a Batrider. He could be super aggressive and be able to escape all at the same time, and it's not going to be a problem. He's even able to potentially help deny the Roshan here, although they're not going to go for Roshan just yet. They don't have the skills or the items for it. Meanwhile, the Brood Mother is pushing. I'm sure that Navi feels a sense of urgency here. They're going to actually go and take Roshan. And with the Ursa, they have the skills to do it. The Ursa with the pretty nasty ultimate. I think it's called Enrage. Yep. Enrage is able to reduce damage by 80%. I think it increases damage. Yeah, so it increases the Fury Swipes. It's a Fury Swipes multiplier. But it reduces damage dealt to him, and he's going to overpower and heal his way with a Morbid Mask all the way up to basically full. Very nice. So now they got the ability to push down tower and not really worry about much. Especially with Dendi on his wind run, able to just get the hell out of dodge. He actually denies that. Oh, we almost denied that tower. It looked like he was going to be able to. They're going to have a solution here to the Broodmother. And I'm sure that GeneRal is going to be part of the solution. Cerezy picked up a dust. He needs that Blink Dagger, though. So they're probably going to stick him in lane. They're probably going to... I'm surprised they don't have any stacks or any wards at all over here in this jungle. Maybe they're afraid of the Broodmother ganking. Broodmother should be pretty decent high level now. She's level 8, and that's even higher than Dendi. Oh, that's the same level as Dendi. But yeah, you can't have Batrider go over there. He's only level 7. Well, you can potentially go over there, level 7. Art style definitely can't go over there. The Shadow Shaman, he get walloped. So now Seneko can start saving people. Probably not going to use that on the Batrider. He's probably going to save that for the Ursa when the Ursa gets in trouble. Save that for Dendi when Dendi gets in trouble. So he is going to start using a little bit more of the sticky napalm stacks to help him get some last hits. I'm surprised he wasn't doing that a little bit more. He had a lot of health early on, or a lot of mana early on. He wasn't really using. He's going to definitely try to get this kill. If he can get a lasso off, Flame Break's actually going to break the TP. So note to self, Flame Break does stop TPing. And the instant teleport by Seneko up to the top to get GeneRal up to a different location. So that's one of the benefits of a Wisp, is you can quickly move people back and forth to different areas. So one of the dangers, you get a Wisp and a Ursa, that's pretty dangerous. You've got the ability of the Batrider to get in position to jump, and then all of a sudden, if Batrider's in position, then you've got 3 heroes right there. All of a sudden, you've got the Ursa, you've got the IO, very, very powerful combination. So that's one of the reasons why they picked this particular line. This is why GeneRal picks this way. So he's why they picked Batrider in general. So what he's doing is he's taking the creeps from the lane. He's coming down to these creep camps. And meanwhile, he continues to cast the sticky napalm. He is getting a lot of assistance here from the IO. So one, I think, of the frustrating aspects of playing a Batrider in regular scrub gameplay is that you will not have this kind of assistance. There's nobody who's going to pick IO. He's like one of the lowest picked heroes, at least in my MMR. And there's there's Seneko and Ursa. Oh my, that is a very bad day for Ursa. But he does have an Aegis. That's okay. But that's the combo: the lasso into the IO, transport, teleport, relocate, and Ursa. All of a sudden, you've got an Ursa. That's not bad wave clear there from GeneRal and Artstyle combining with their little AoEs there to counter some of the Broodlings. Not bad at all. So the question now is, what's the Batrider doing? Batrider has a Blink Dagger. He got the Blink Dagger a little while ago. Probably he was getting those creep camps up there, going ahead. And question is, what does he do now? So they smoke. Like, I don't think that the enemy knows that there's a Batrider with the Blink Dagger. That's very important. Or maybe that was actually the mid gank there. I didn't realize. Maybe that was the first blink in engagement. So they're looking for Brood. They're going to do their best to capture him. There's the Brood. They actually did get the Brood. They're going to lasso. They need to lasso the Brood. In fact, the Brood already has a silence, which is a dangerous thing. Work it already. But GeneRal has the dust. He's got the blink. He's got the flame breaks, stop TPs. He's kind of a one-man gank squad when you've got an IO and an Ursa in the area. So my guess is he keeps buying the... well, he doesn't need to buy the dust. He's just going to go ahead and buy the gem, which makes a lot of sense. Right up against a Broodmother, you can completely shut down a Broodmother. Every single time a Broodmother, you see the Broodmother push at all in lane, you know that she's over there. You know it's going to be inefficient for her to leave that lane. You're just going to use this Firefly to then go around and gank the Broodmother. So Polarity, to a certain extent, made a mistake here. Oh, Blink Dagger in on the Flaming Lasso. Even there's a Blink on the Ursa already too. Yeah, so they both tried for that and ended up not working. Nice game sense by Polarity, but in a way, Polarity picked a Broodmother into a Batrider. It was not a very smart idea because, what I'm seeing here is the Batrider is kind of a nice counter for a Broodmother. Still keeping this Tango. Surprised he hasn't used it yet. Picks up more dust. I'm surprised he didn't pick up that gem. He had it queued up there. I guess
Radiant's
he decided it
middle
was
tower is under
when he
attack.
gets some dust of appearance and we get another item, probably wants to get that force staff. Usually, you'll see Batriders go blink dagger into force staff so they can blink in, lasso, and then immediately force staff the enemy much faster toward their own teammate. Basically like an expensive pudge hook, but a much more reliable one. You know they're stacking there because you see the little
Radiant's middle tower is
creep
under
sitting up
attack.
there, used for stacking.
Radiant's
He's going to be
structures
chilling
are
on the high ground
fortified.
here. He's going to be chilling back here, looking for that gank, pull enemies closer to the river, pulling right into that Ursa. You know, Batrider being a great combo with really hefty, nasty melee heroes that otherwise hate to get kited, I suppose. Did he keep the flame break damage on there until he realizes it's probably not a good idea to stay there, blinks across the river, gets the hell out of dodge, wants to avoid. He didn't have any vision of the area around him. He wanted to avoid being killed. So back up to top. Probably want to get the Broodmother. You know, I would guess if I were him, I would probably have some wards. Although, you know, Io's probably got that down. No, Io's got regen, bunch of regen. Oh, sorry, that's going to be art style of the wards. So this is a position 3 Batrider. He's got his blink dagger. He's basically
Radiant's
a core.
middle tower
He's
is
going to be
under
able to
attack.
get decent farm all game. And, you know, a lot of the games I've cast so far are the games where you have the support just doing nothing but buying wards. Ward bitch. I cast a no diggity game where Cinderin, he was a Venomancer, and in addition to casting his Venomancer wards, which are free, he bought a bunch of wards. A ton of wards. That's all he did, was go around and ward. And it's worked. It was like the vision game, just an ultra vision game. He's able to keep tabs over everything that was going on the entire time. But that's the role of a support in these games. Sometimes they just play that real hard 5 position. The lately games that I've been casting, I've been kind of moving up into more of position 3, position 4 players, where you don't see just a bunch of wards all the time. And these are the kind of heroes you want to play in pub matches, but unfortunately a lot of times you can't because you need vision to be able to do anything. Batrider is a great example of you need vision on Batrider to be able to get these blink lassos in, although he might go ahead and grab. He gets the. He gets saved by IO there. He was about to get destroyed. Looks like Puck got off the Dream Coil, which sticks him in the area. They're going to probably kill. Actually, his team is potentially pushing back to save Seneko. Yeah, so they're able to flip that script. Save Seneko. Seneko saving GeneRal.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Once again, looking for that Broodmother. Not finding the Broodmother. Hoping to. 20 seconds left on the dust. Not going to be able to get another dust here. Try to catch that Broodmother. She's probably going to go farm here. Yeah. And put himself in a position to potentially help him out mid. If that comes by, he's going to play some vision game. He sees the Broodmother over to the left. He's probably going to go ahead and get ready to get a kill. He's out of Firefly, though, so he needs to just go ahead and finish up these creeps. Get himself a Force Staff, or be in the position to have a Force Staff. Doesn't realize there's a ward here. Actually, they do apparently realize there's a ward here, and they de-ward. That could be lucky. That is a potential ward spot. So he is waiting for the Brood. He's going to wait for the Brood to appear in lane. You can see him scroll over there. He's waiting for it. He's got the Firefly up. He's going to blink in. He's going to dust. He's going to be in the area. Doesn't get it. But he's going to get a few Broodling kills, which is helpful, at least. Stop that push. Get that Broodling Death Ball to a manageable size. He's got 2250. I'm not sure what he's going to buy here. He doesn't have anything queued up. And again, I haven't really watched him, so I'm not sure if he queues anything up. And the last thing he queued up, the gem, he didn't even do anything. So, a bit of an enigma. Bit of a mystery. And there appear a bunch of Broodlings all of a sudden. He's in position again. He doesn't have another dust, though, so he's actually going to TP down to mid. He's going to get out of this lane. You can see where the Broodmother was over there. But looks like they're getting ready to take Roshan, so he needs to be in the area. He needs to be able to counter gank, and that is a very late Roshan. Very late. I'm sure Ursa might just sit there I might take the Ancient stack while waiting. Yeah, he's going to run out here and take the Ancient stack. I don't know. He's just going to sit in the pit. I guess he doesn't want to reveal that he's already in there. But the enemy's going to realize this. Broodmother's getting in a position where she's pushing. Now, that attempt to gank prior to going down here and doing Roshan is important because it's scared Broodmother. Broodmother might be in a position where she doesn't feel like she's going to be able to successfully push this. Maybe she's afraid, oh, they're setting up for a gank. So that is one of the benefits of pushing, you know, trying to gank Broodmother and then going to do Roshan, because it might make Broodmother a little more hesitant. Still, he's wasted a lot of money here. I'm surprised he has not gotten a gem. He's got 3k gold. Okay. He picks up a Shadow Blade. So this is how he's going to do it. He isn't going to get a gem. He decided what he's going to do is he's going to Shadow Blade into the area, wait for the Broodmother to appear by casting one of her spells, which is the Spawn Spiralings, like that right there. Then as soon as he sees that, as soon as she does that, he's going to go ahead and he is going to lasso. Watch it. Here it happens. Boom. Gets her. Dusts. Gets the flaming lasso. Io comes in, uses the spirit damage actually, plus the flame damage. And it's funny, she couldn't actually turn because she had some sticky napalm stacks on her, but not a lot. That was kind of a surprising kill there. I'm surprised she didn't at least try to run a little bit. Meanwhile, they get the Roshan. This is good news. You can even see the spiderlings on fire even though they're invisible. That's interesting. So that's a great gank style. There you go. Now you know that if you're dealing with an invis unit, it's hard to gank. You go invis yourself instead of, if this is invis pushing unit, I should say. You go invis yourself, you get a dust, you get a blank dagger, you get some kind of lockdown, and then you jump in and blow the person up. You do have to have somebody who can jump in with you, though. That is key. And again, another example of why being a scrub sucks in pubs, because you can never make that happen. Nobody will play a team game like that. Batrider, you jump in, you do everything you need to do to be a really good Batrider, and you lasso somebody up, and your teammates run in a freaking different direction. They have no idea what you're doing. There's miscommunication. They misplay their spells. Oh, he's gonna get another kill. 4 seconds. This is a very, very dead. There's the flame lasso. So what looks like what the Broodmother was doing there is she ulted and was trying to do enough damage while I guess the puck was coming in to do something. So GeneRal able to actually kill the Broodmother, but not until after the Broodmother was able to kill the IO, which is true. The IO did need to get close to do all the damage to the spirits. But the IO is a sacrificial lamb. Dendi is not. That was not a good death by Dendi there. I'm not sure why Dendi was so out of position, considering all his teammates were way back. But this is good. Now he doesn't need any dusts. He was able to use the ganks he got to kill the money he got from the Shadow Blade ganks, the dust ganks. He's going to get rid of that. He's going to put a TP in its place. He's got a gem there. So now he can have his TP, you can have his gem, you can have his blink, and you have his Shadow Blade. And he can gank this Broodmother all the live long day. Broodmother is now a dead Broodmother. Their enemy team is going to have to move the Broodmother. They're going to have to give her boots of travel. They're going to have to do something on this Broodmother to get her out of this lane and get her more mobile, because he's going to do this every single time. Just he's going to go through. He's going to see these wards. He's going to see the broodlings. He's going to look and find out where the Broodmother is. He's going to flaming lasso. And if necessary, Seneko is going to jump in with an Ursa attached, tethered together.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's like GeneRal saving the Firefly for a Shadow Blade. Just going to time it right. Probably going to go ahead and Firefly up. Shadow Blade. Maybe waiting on a counter gank there on IO. He did see the ward there, so maybe that was a bait. That's actually brilliant. Use the enemy ward that you can see and you know is there to bait out a potential gank attempt. And do a nice counter gank on anybody that comes in. Very smart, but then he sees that there's enemies elsewhere and he's not going to do anything about that. So he decides that you go ahead and use this opportunity to ward. Enemy's going to know that he has a gem. But the bait failed. Not quite a master baiter. Maybe an apprentice baiter. He's still not dewarding that one ward. Maybe he didn't realize he went right over it. Maybe he's using them still as bait. Not really sure. Could be the bait situation. Denny's right under that ward. He's scanning the area. Shadow Blade breaks. Cast a sticky napalm up top, maybe for vision purposes. And Dendy's in a rough position. He's going to have to get back. GeneRal's going to have to get back. Maybe he's going to try to pick somebody off in the backline support that comes in. Maybe try to get the Vengeful Spirit. He's definitely waiting for an opportunity here. IO is ready to relocate. Actually, IO already relocated, so he needs to get in there and do some damage. Question is, who's he go on? I guess he's deciding his pick here. He's going to go ahead and pick DK Phobos. Going to do a decent amount of damage. He's going to take DK Phobos out of the fight. I'm not sure that was the best target. Looks like it was not. Just trying to help his friend, probably just trying to eliminate a little bit of damage. Doom had probably already cast Doom, so it probably was the best target in this situation, but nevertheless not a very good opportunity. He's being quite aggressive here. IO is going to die. He does not have his lasso. Now would potentially be a better time to use the lasso and get a kill on somebody, though he also could have been killed by a Venge Swap, by a stun on the Sven, by a Doom if that wasn't already used. Doom was used.
With gratitude.
Going for a BKB next. It's a good pickup for him. It's not going to stop the Venge Swap, because it does pierce spell immunity. But, so is the Doom, by the way. But, it does stop the Waning Rift, which is the AoE spell, silence, sorry, the AoE silence on the puck, which is a really nasty potential counter to a Batrider trying to get a range to do something, not able to lasso, not able to cast any sticky napalms. There's also a silence on Broodmother, and I don't think that pierces spell immunity. I could be wrong about that. I don't know if items do. But also you've got the stun, the AoE, the long-range magic stun. The long-range magic stun on Vengeful Spirit. That is going to stop that because that does not pierce spell magic immunity. And then Stormhammer, big AoE stun, nasty spell, a lot of stuns. So this is going to be an important game for Batrider. Plus, there's a ton of magic damage. Puck does mostly magic damage. Doom does mostly magic damage. Actually, he does a lot of physical and magical. And you do have the bonus magical damage from the Orchid that pops after the Orchid is run its course. So this is going to be a decent pickup for him. I'm going to back up to see how this goes, how this gets set up. So he's back in base. His friends are back in base after dying.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think I may have gone too far. Sorry about this, just trying to get through to a point. So he looks like after they lost that team fight, looks like the creep wave did push top. I wasn't paying any attention to this. Creep wave pushed top. He's going to probably sticky napalm that. Use Firefly to get rid of a bunch of it. Needs to be able to prevent the damage to that tower. Oh, he's going to let Ursa get some damage. He's not a level 1 priority. Ursa definitely is. He says he's going to TP bottom. And it looks like Artstyle's already in the woods. Way out of position. Although there is a potential setup there for the Seneko GeneRal attack, which is nice. GeneRal's going to come in the back line. He's probably going to kill on Pasha here. Going to grab a lasso. He's not going to be able to use his armlet, which is what Pasha has currently. Flame break. There's the swap after the lasso is done. Not a very good swap. But it did kill, actually did kill GeneRal, and looks like GeneRal and Dendy are going to be able to clean things up here. And that's a really good trade. You've got a Seneko IO, an art style Shadow Shaman. Now the Ursa was not a good loss, but you did get a Sven, you got a Puck, you got a Broodmother. Those are arguably the 3 cores. And look at that speed on GeneRal, being able to blink out as soon as that magic missile comes in, and Dendy's in a position to be able to kill this, help get the kill if anybody's in the area. So GeneRal, nice fast blink dagger reaction to disjoint that magic missile stun. And Dendy is getting doomed, and he's way out of position. He thinks he can do it, but he didn't realize there was a doom there, so Dendy's going to get killed. Not a good idea. Dendy, of course, known for being very aggressive. But the IO ult was up, but the problem is Ursa wasn't alive. So yeah, Dendy, you're trying to get a solo kill. I understand you're an amazing player, but you also did so when your Ursa wasn't alive. So if you had your IO relocate, it's not going to make a difference. So Batrider's able to get his Force Staff, another big item. be able to get quickly get those ganks again, almost like a pudge hook. You can tell that Navi's still favoring the pudge hook, just in different form. Realizing the power of that pudge hook, perhaps Stendy long term. Perhaps just, you know, Batrider being a fantastic hero overall because of the way that hooking somebody, pulling somebody out of their lane, or just pulling them out, being able to have your whole team gang up on them. Also the vision of a Batrider, the ability to kind of advanced warning, being able to fly above, the ability to farm rather quickly. You know, this ability to gank Broodmother, unparalleled. You can't do that with Pudge. Potentially you could, I suppose, with Shadow Blade. That is potentially true. So he is sitting back. They do have vision to the left there on the high ground, but they're on the right side here. They got Ursa sitting in the jungle, farming some Ancients. I'm guessing Roshan is up soon. That's why they're kind of being a little more passive. They did get some kills, but they want to probably farm some items and find a good gank here. They might go ahead and try to gank the Broodmother. I don't think he's going to be able to find the Broodmother. It'd be very unusual for the Broodmother to be out in the open at this point. They knowing that the Batrider has a Blink Dagger and a Gem and a Shadow Blade. So my guess is Broodmother's being played very defensive. We'll see. She pops. Now, this time she's not being defensive because there's an entire enemy team, or friendly team there for her. But Navi backs up. They don't have vision in that area. The creep wave is pushing through. It's going to keep giving vision to the enemy, so you want to get back. You don't want to be out there caught with the creep wave behind you. Also, Roshan is up soon, so they're trying to stay around the pit here. Uses a sticky napalm to see if you can see inside there. Get some little vision. Doesn't see a Roshan just yet. They want to get this Roshan as soon as possible. I think that is a max duration Roshan. GeneRal gets blink doomed. Not good. He is probably going to die here, especially with just a little bit of extra damage there from Puck. So he dies. He's going to watch his teammates get killed. A bunch of BKBs here on the enemy team. GeneRal is probably going to get hammered. He's going to get kited all day long. No way he survives this. Seneca's not going to be able to relocate him to safety. And Ursa dies. Dendy's sitting over there wondering what he can do to assist, which is not very much. Get an occasional power shot in. But he's afraid, doesn't want to get even. He does not have a BKB. He does have Ags, which is nice. He does have Crystals, which is nice. But he can't get out of the ganks. He can't withstand the stunts, even if he can't withstand some right clicks. So, Batrider working on his way. He, of course, just like most heroes, you're going to get the Ogre Club first. Get that additional strength. Make it harder for the enemy to kill you. He looks like he lost the gem, but they have an extra gem in the base there, so I don't know if Sanaiko brought that back or whatever. They're going to put it on the courier, and they're going to give that to Batrider. He's going to replace his Ogre Club. And they got a dust. They're going to put on the courier here. I'm sorry, a smoke. They're going to put on the courier. Try to get a gank. They know Roshan's happening, and Roshan's about dead, so there's nothing they can do about this. That's unfortunate. They're going to try to get a Blink Lasso kill on the Doom, and with Dendy's Ags, that is going to be a really nasty combo. Of course, Vengeful Spirit's going to die. Well, Vengeful Spirit doesn't die either. But it's a nice blink in there from GeneRal. Going to be able to produce some pain. Be able to blow up, hopefully, this Puck. Puck's able to get the Yules off, or Friend's able to get the Yules off on the Puck. He's going to evaporate there into nothing and come back. Maybe get a kill. GeneRal's going to get a kill here. You can actually see the Fury Swipes. You can see him on the screen, though. He sees Puck. He really wants to get a kill on this Puck, I'm sure. Trying to participate from afar. He has got to be very careful here. This is a big, this is not a good situation for Navi. They are got their tier 2 tower, mid tower being pushed. They have no vision of their jungle. They have no vision of the enemy's jungle. They lost their gem. Actually, I guess they did lose the gem to the enemy team. There's this. Do they have a team? Do they have a gem? Yeah, Doom is a gem. The Doom picked up the gem. They must have bought an extra one there. So Sanaiko way out of position. I'm not sure what that was all about. Maybe I guess he relocated himself in, and that way he can leave before the enemies are able to do anything. So the Batrider, General is invis right now, but, you know, the Firefly kind of gives it away. This is risky play here, going down here, getting this rune. I guess maybe he realizes there's at least one enemy up top, and they happen to run around as 5. So maybe he feels like it's okay. I don't know. It seems awfully risky to me. He at least he has a gem, and at least he does have some escape mechanism with the Shadow Blade. He's going to do ahead D-ward using this gem. Very important. They don't have any vision right now. They need to get some vision. Actually, I think they have a ward right there to the south where he was. So my screen is not showing wards like it used to. So there's a Radiant ward there. There's a Radiant ward there. Yeah. So, not the best vision in the world. DK Phobos should know by now that Batrider has a gem. This is a nice start on Navi's part. Oh my god, Sven blinks in with God's strength and is going to be able to clean up 3 people. Dendi's not even going to be able to get, I guess he has Wind Rose on cooldown. That's not good. He's going to have to save that for the spin. Not a good idea. So even though GeneRal got a nice start there on the Broodmother doesn't die. His team was unable to kill the Broodmother fast enough. Perhaps that's, you know, that's a signal that they need to be more careful here with their ganks. GeneRal needs to be careful when he starts these fights because his teammate's going to jump in, and that's going to be the opportunity. In fact, the enemy might be realizing that and starting to build a team fight position where they just send the Broodmother in first, wait for the Batrider to jump in, then they swap, and then kill the Batrider or anybody else is along with Batrider, which is going to be a 5v3 potentially, especially the Batriders in the jungle searching around. You know, this is actually really smart. If you're playing against a lineup that relies upon a one-person scout and then a relocate TP in with, you know, some IO plus 1, you've got 3 people there. You're not going to have 2 other people unless they're just pushing down the lane. So if it's a gank, you can bait out these ganks with the hero like a Broodmother or somebody else that is going to be on the front lines, always in a position to push. And then you just kind of hide behind them. You smoke, perhaps. You get in a position where you just wait for that jump by the Batrider. And you just kill them. A 5v3 team fight, and you win. And a lot of that's been what's happening. Of course, the Force Staff is helpful to get GeneRal out of, you know, once he flaming lassos somebody, he needs to get out as quickly as possible with that Force Staff. But that's not going to be enough. So he's not participating in this particular fight. You probably, looks like you had an art style Shadow Shaman up there. Again, I don't know if they went on somebody and they tried to get a relocate gank or whatever it was, but Navi needs to realize Polarity is using Navi's strategy against them. Very smart by Polarity. Which, you know, also, by the way, you know, it should tell the GeneRal something, though. GeneRal should be able to farm here. He should be able to push out a lane. He knows where the enemy's going to be. At this point, he's probably going to need to get something other than Tranquil. He's probably going to get TP boots. His little team's probably going to need to get TP boots to be able to deal with this push so they can push out these lanes and then stop this death push. Dendi gets Doom swapped even after he ults. He's probably, I don't know if he has buyback or not. He does that, by the way, while his friends haven't even respawned yet. GeneRal uses the Flame Blast just to try to help protect Dendi. Dendi dies, uses the buyback. That was a bit of a bait. Ursa, however, is also dead, and that's the bulk of their damage. Navi could very well lose a Rax here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Thankfully, Batrider does finish the BKB. Good utility item, not a damage item for Batrider, considering he is an end hero, by the way. You gotta wait for this Ursa, and I'm rather surprised that Polarity has not taken advantage of that Ursa death. They must think that Ursa has a buyback. They don't want to push their advantage, push their odds. Maybe they. I guess they did burn Doom. They probably want to wait for that. Like I said, they burned Svenal. And there was a rather unexpected attempted relocate gank with Dendi and probably art style. Just Dendi and IO and Seneko. Again, I'm not sure what that was to accomplish. I guess they did get a kill on the Broodmother, but you lost Dendi and an IO, I think. So I don't think it's worth it. Broodmother at this point is just a pushing machine. She eventually can transition to more of a utility kind of AoE aura utility hero, and that may be what she's doing. She did go at Orchid.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So Broodmother's currently sitting on a Black King bar, doing a lot of damage. At this point, becoming a carry. I'm going to go back just a little bit here. So GeneRal's back in the base. The creep wave is pushed mid. The creep wave is pushed top. He goes Shadow Blade. He's got the Flame Wave up. He decides to blink back, which is kind of a cool thing. Get Pasha on the Sven and actually blow up Sven there. That's a very good gank. That's a very good kill. The high #1 priority target there. They're actually going to blink forward and try to get some vision and damage on this Doom, knowing that the Vengeful Spirit is going to die. Ursa comes in, going to get a kill. Nice little turnaround there. Dendi. I'm sorry, from NAVI. Often synonymous with Dendi. And great use of the Black King bar, featuring that the first time. And going forward and then blinking backward, I think, is a nice little tactic. I've never seen that. I would not think to do that. Maybe that was unintentional. It's hard to know sometimes what these professionals do, whether it's intentional or unintentional. These guys are so good that you could very easily think of something I would do potentially unintentionally as being like, that is how they do it. That is the way that they do it. They misdirect. They pull out all the stops. So Batrider's got some decent gold here. He might be saving up for a buyback. I'm not sure what he's going to get next. Maybe the Shiva's Guard, perhaps, is the next item he's saving up for. Probably wants to save his money for that. Have a buyback just in case. At this point, GeneRal's more really a hero that once he uses his Flaming Lasso, and he's got his Firefly for vision, but once there's a team fight, uses his Flaming Lasso, he's really just a sticky napalm generator. So it would be nice if he could do something else. Shiva's Guard would be nice, so he can at least slow down the enemy team. He might go ahead and take this Brood stack here. Turns out one Flame Break is going to kill all those little Broodlings. And that's the advantage of having a little damage on a Flame Break. He sees the Broodmother. Deward that ward, and he has got to be careful. This is exactly what he has to be careful of. He's going to blink into the enemy woods, which is where his allies are. He goes into Viz. He's going to finally get the lasso on the Doom before the Doom gets Doom off. Really good target there. Going to kill the Doom. They need to burn down that Doom. They're able to do so. Sven's going to wreck and wreak havoc there. Blowing up GeneRal. The GeneRal is going to have an enrage, be able to reduce the damage by 80%. He's going to get a Fury Swipe damage on the Sven, counter the Sven there. You've got the Dendi going ahead and blowing up this DK Phobos with his ultimate and plus Ags. And this is going to be a full team wipe if they can get this Puck. Puck is an elusive hero, and there's a very nice shackle there by Dendi, but being tracked down by GeneRal. So that fight largely started by GeneRal. So the very kind of baiting that Polarity was doing to kill NAVI, NAVI just used to kill Polarity. How clever is that? It's already like meta here. It's a little confusing at some point. They're going to now use the GeneRal bait to bait. It just gets confusing at some point. But that was a really good team fight for them. Already Navi's pushing that bottom tower. Probably going to go ahead and wait for Ursa to pop back up. And they're going to go ahead and get the Roshan if Roshan's back up. He's probably going to check it out here. Just checking around to see if he can find some wards. So the Flame Break does provide a little bit, the Sticky Knee Pumpers provide a little bit of the Observer. He's got enough, or he's close to having enough for a Shiva's Guard. That was a really good team fight for that very reason. But he's going to have to replace his boots, I'm guessing. He does not want to give up that gem. So Roshan is up. I doubt he's going to join. If anything, he's going to get close to the area and just kind of browse, be able to counter gank. They do have really good wards up right now, so they know if something's going to come down the pipe. pike. In this case, it's one person a puck, and it's probably a bunch of smoked heroes behind that. Yeah, it was. That was dangerous. And the GeneRal gets, GeneRal comes in, lassos, gets silenced, breaks the lasso, but he's able to get out because he shadow bladed away. Nobody could stop him with the stun or anything like that. The swap was already used to stop the lasso. So that's a good example of why Vengeful Spirit's such a good counter to a Batrider. And a Vengeful Spirit, the range on that ultimate gets really long. Yeah, look at the range on that ultimate. You can just see that. That's amazing range. A Batrider's going to have a real hard time getting... Actually, that's ultimate with an Aether Lens. That's a good reason why you pick up an Aether Lens there. But that's crazy. That's a crazy range. Virtually nothing the Batrider can do if the Vengeful Spirit is anywhere near the area. My guess, I mean, the Vengeful Spirit may want to get a Force Staff to help assist with that, but being position 5 support, I'm guessing, is just a little too hard on the Legend. I'm going to go ahead and watch this setup since I missed it. So he is going to pick up the Shiva's Guard, picks up the first item. Or he gets ready to pick up the first item there. So it looks like they're going to smoke. The enemy team already used a smoke. Rashawn was already taken. They do have good vision over the enemy jungle at this point, so this is not a warding mission so much as it probably is a gank mission. They use the smoke, go ahead and grab a lasso on DK Phobos. The enemy team is not in the position to counter, but they are in position to counter now. Sven blinks in. What's GeneRal doing? What's he doing? He's just casting. Flying around, just casting Sticky Napalm. That's all he's able to do. Which is going to be really helpful, especially when you got a Dendi out there hitting enemies every few seconds. But not going to be enough to completely turn this team fight. Although, kill on Sven would be really nice if they could get it. He's not going to be able to do that. He actually picks up a Hex. Scythe of Vice, right there. That's another way to be able to get kills, and he is going to actually be able to wrap up both the Doom and the Puck here. He's not going to be able to blink out. Pick the other way. The enemy's going to be able to kill him probably. Power shot, Flame Break, power shot, and no. Puck's going to die to Link's way over yonder.
Look who's back. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, gets the Hex off on the Puck. Puck is going to die here. Just going to go ahead and put Sticky Napalm stacks on. Interesting, you can actually do that to a... I didn't know you could do that to a Puck who was phase shifted. You can. So GeneRal, once again blinking into the woods, being aggressive, ends up getting... Oh, that was a relocate, but without anybody attached. So I'm not sure what Snako was doing, maybe just trying to get vision. So the Batrider could blink in and finally get that Sven. Kind of a ballsy move there just to run into the jungle without knowing who was there, considering the enemies were just there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
So he's not going to go to the Shiva's Guard route. He might go that next. Scythe of Ice, nice pickup. You know, that does give him a little extra time for his team to get involved. It's going to give him another potential escape. You know, if he gets doomed, he can't do anything. But this gives him more time to get that kill. Sticky Napalm stacking up, Flame Break. You can put himself in a position to push him back, get him under the Firefly. It's a good offensive weapon here, and potentially defensive too if he needs to get the hell out of dodge. Just hex somebody up and run away. Although, generally speaking, I don't think GeneRal Batrider is going to be very defensive. He did use that defensiveness once to get his team in a position to get a kind of a baited counter gank here. We'll see if he does it again, because his team is in the woods. This is the same situation it was before. He goes over to the left. He has vision. He gets a solo. He gets a lasso. The enemy swaps. He pops BKB. Enemy tries to follow him. Enemy follows him right into NAVI. Not going to happen this time. They're going to back off. They have no vision of their own jungle here. Go ahead and grab Rune, Arcane Rune. Do some cooldowns by 30%, mana cost by 40%. Not bad when you got a lasso. Gonna do a little dewarding here. Try to push this top tower. This is the first time they're actually pushing this top tower. First time they felt bold enough to go through to their jungle, or to the enemy's top jungle here. And they're getting out as quickly as possible. They are moving. Not want to get caught out there. Turns out the puck is actually somewhere in this area, and his Firefly is down just for a few seconds. Trying to figure out where they are here. They're not sure. Somewhere between the IO, who is there and about to die. Yeah, there's the whole team. So I'm surprised the IO is that close. I'm surprised he was just sitting there, because all they had to do, the initiation range of the enemy at this point is crazy. Pretty much all of them have blink daggers. So I don't know. If I were him, I might have tried to avoid that. I would have stayed clear of it. Maybe he could do better. It is Seneko, and we're going to cover Seneko here in a game or two, because he is quite good. Think about trying to cover his first shaker. So once again, typical things going on here. By a GeneRal. In this particular case, the swap went on him, but he got... How did he get out of that? So he actually drops his Shadow Blade, by the way. He does not have that anymore. He might have sold that. He's going to blink in. Same thing to Sven he always does. Blinks in, lassos. Here comes the swap. So the swap was on Sven this time, not the Batrider. The Batrider is actually Yules, swirling around up in the air, not being able to do anything. He did pop his BKB. Now he's down to that 6 charges on that. And he's just going to flame up the area. But he's going to have to wait. I mean, this is a 40-second window for the enemy to push this tower. The enemy's TPing away, moving away. This would have been a potential opportunity. It didn't. Looks like Artstyle did drop those wards, so they're not going to be able to. They're not really going to do anything here. I'm sorry, the Polarity's not really going to do anything. So somebody, it's like GeneRal, points to blue down here. He sees there's other people elsewhere. And they're not grouped as 5 at the moment. So this is the Batrider doing what the Batrider does best. He's going to quickly move into position to be able to kill this. He's going to flame break, perfect position. This is exactly why you get a Batrider. He gets the vision. He's able to quickly cut across the map. He's able to use his unobstructed walking movement to Firefly over. He's Blink Dagger. He's got a Force Staff, and if he's potentially would be able to get the Scythe of Ice off on the Doom, but he casted a Flame Break. Doom turned around, doomed him, knowing full well that Doom is going to be able to be pushed back anyway, probably into the Scythe of Ice. As soon as Navi realizes that's going to be a kill, they go ahead and bring in the Seneko Relocate with an Ursa attached. And that's a kill on a Doom target. 47 seconds, or 50-some seconds here without a Doom. Potentially going to get some other ganks, choke off the enemy. They're going to use this as a resource, kind of a noose, tying a noose around Polarity while they have her up one man.
Tower is under attack.
A one-man power play. Push down tower, probably going to switch over to this other lane. Actually, they're not going to do that. They're going to put pressure on this tier 3 tower. Good idea. They don't have a Doom. How good is the enemy without a Doom? Looks like somebody has put a Lincoln Sphere on Ursa. Batrider in position, getting ready to gank whoever tries to gank Ursa. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a swap here onto Ursa, but the swap's going to be countered by the Lincoln Sphere. So instead, GeneRal goes offensive, blinks in, gets his ult off of DK Phobos. This is going to be a great fight, although Sven does a ridiculous amount of damage. The cleave damage is powerful. He's going to be able to get a kill on both Batrider and somebody else there, I forget who. And this is actually going to clean up NAVI. So NAVI overestimated their hand by pushing high ground. That Sven is nasty. And GeneRal basically just, yeah, they got the kill on, who was that? I think that was the Broodmother. But once again, why are you killing your Broodmother? A Broodmother does damage, sure. Broodmother does 107 damage plus 80 from 182. And if you get the Insatiable Hunger, she's going to be very survivable. But forgetting that the person you really want to kill is the Sven. Look at the damage of the Sven. Doing over 300 damage. He's got bashes. He's got critical strikes happening left and right. And when he got strengths, he's been doing like 600 damage plus potential crit potential. So you really, at this point, I think he really needs to save his lasso for a Sven. I don't think he can afford to continue doing that on Broodmother. Because he needs to be able to, they need to be able to burst down that Sven as quickly as possible.
A prize.
The other problem, though, is that they do have to deal with this Vengeful Spirit. The Vengeful Spirit is going to swap out. Anyway, he's going to be sitting back there, and if GeneRal goes on the Sven, then the Vengeful Spirit will swap out the Sven. So this is a problem. They have to figure this out, and maybe, you know, more control or lockdown is part of the answer. So Batrider keeps the vision. He's got the gem, and he buys here. He's got the boots of travel. This is going to be important. They need to start putting pressure in multiple areas at once to be able to push and then quickly get back to their own base. He especially, because if his gank attempt, you know, he can go out and he can gank, just kind of be a scout and see what's going on, see what's happening, and be able to kind of call for a relocate gank with an Ursa attached. But he's got to be able to get back to base if the enemy decides to push. If the enemy just shows up at this base, he needs to be able to get back. That's why he's getting a TPs there, TP here. That makes good sense. So the strategy is continued by NAVI. They're sticking with that idea of relocate ganks because after using a scout, with GeneRal being the scout at this point. A little bit dangerous him being on the perimeter here. He's got some escape mechanisms, but the enemy can potentially be smoked up. There could be some invis. There could be blink doom. You know, is he going to be able to respond in time? I don't know. He's pretty fast, but doom is instant. He's not going to be able to disjoin a doom. He can disjoin a little missile, but he's dangerous. They need to reestablish some vision. They need to get some wards up. They just barely have vision over that little part of the jungle. They're currently grouped up as 5. GeneRal putting on a little bit of damage, flame break, but overall staying far away. Art style getting a little bit of farm as well. Sticking near this Roshan, they're going to be in a position to counter the Roshan. They need to be in a position to take it for themselves. GeneRal needs to be in a position to pull somebody out of that Roshan. And I'm not sure if they saw that there, but there is definitely enemies in the area. This is, at this point, a fight all about Roshan. So they see the enemy there. They know there's a Broodmother in the area. He wants to be able to get vision. He wants to be able to get rid of this ward. Actually didn't kill that ward. They go ahead and scout with the power shot, see what's going on. Don't want that. They saw there's some damage there on the Roshan. I think that was actually Dendi that started the damage. He started the Ags damage, but he didn't end up getting a kill. Once again, power shot. So this is going to be probably a gank here. Yeah. At some point, the problem here is they just took too long. The enemy realized before NAVI did that they were just going to be able to. See here, you get a gank on Pasha, and all of a sudden fights can change. Although it might be too little late. Although Ursa's going to be able to clean this up pretty well. I'm imagining Ursa's just doing ridiculous amount of damage right now. Now they can take Roshan, but they did have to suffer some losses there, and they should have been privy to what was going on there. Dendi with an absolutely critical shackle shot there. Ursa's going to currently enraged, going to go up against Sven and win actually. I wonder if Ursa has, I wonder what damage item he has, because he did a lot of damage there. Okay, he popped his Abyssal Blade and blew up. The Sven could do ridiculous damage, and the Sven without God Strength is not it's not the Sven with, I mean, it's just a different game. God Strength, 300% damage increase, I think. So they're going to be able to get this Roshan, but you know, for future reference, that's not a bad idea. I mean, if you've got, oh look, GeneRal's getting a kill. So while he's not going to worry about Roshan. He's going to stay out of Roshan. He's going to go try to get a gank on people who are trying to gank them. He sees the puck mid.
Radiant's top tower
Puck's
has fallen.
kind of low. Probably thinks he has a target here. Puck going for a rune. He gets the Hex off, so the Puck can't do anything. He's not going to have a lasso just yet. Puck is going to end up getting himself killed because he's going to stick around too long, rather than just going ahead and getting the hell out.
Tower is under attack.
GeneRal, this is the chase is on. The dog, the bat chasing the rabbit, or in this case, the fairy dragon. He's not going to be able to get the lasso. No. Not going to get the blink off in time. Didn't have the vision to be able to blink into the right area. Didn't want to get stuck in trees. Potentially could have got that Scythe of Ice off. Not really sure, though. I'm sure that if anybody could have done it, it was GeneRal. Io now has the boots. Can be able to move himself around a little bit faster. And they're going to use this as an opportunity. That Sven is down. This was a buyback on Sven. He gets himself killed. Very bad decision making, I guess. Not decision making, just overestimated what they were going to do. The GeneRal participating in this push, going ahead and ulting here. The Doom, prevent that Doom from going off. This is a very dead vengeful spirit. He's actually going to cast his Ghost Scepter and then TP out. Then we can stop that. Nobody wants to use abilities on him. Enemy knows Lasso, claiming Lasso's not up. They have to be careful a little bit, and Polarity choose to call it GG. Wards were down, Navi was hitting the base. Big turn of events there, and what really turned that was this team fight in the woods. Right here. So, we'll play this in slow motion. Basically, looks like Navi was in a position where they were looking for Roshan, and they started realizing, well, where's the enemy? And Dendi had, luckily, he had the Lincoln Sphere up on him, which is, you know, as everybody knows, is going to block one spell, targeted spell on him. So he moves. He's also has, he's probably not the tankiest, but he's probably the slipperiest target. And Ursa's in the jungle. Ursa's pretty tanky. Now that's where the gank starts. Ursa's in the jungle. He's going to get blown up here. He does pop his BKB in time. He does have a rage to be able to stop the damage. The entire Navi team goes in. They're able to get a... Dendi just gets ripped apart. Seneko is not able to get a kill. Looks like Seneko got killed by the AoE cleave there from Sven. Ursa's still alive, though. Ursa coming back into the fight. Looks like GeneRal's finally going to get a kill here on Pasha. Pasha's actually stuck in the wards. That is a horrible position for Pasha to be. Thank you, Art Style, for setting that one up. GeneRal, just at this point, going to be casting Sticky Napalm, trying to avoid getting killed here. And so, I think GeneRal, I don't know if he buys back. Does he buy back? Does he get killed? No, he popped a cheese. That's what happened. So they're able to turn this with a cheese, which tells you the value of a Roshan. They have an extra life with the cheese. GeneRal's able to get a kill on the Sven. So right there, this would not have happened if GeneRal not been part of this. If he had not gotten a lasso on Sven, and I said that earlier, he had to get lassos on Sven to win this. There's Sven back, there's the buyback. DK Phobo still participating in the fight, gonna get his butt kicked. And Dendi gets a critical shackle here, always critical shackles. Get Pasha there to 3/4 health. GeneRal's gonna go mano y mano, sensing the blood in the water, opportunity to kill this. Oh, he got a crit. Sensing the opportunity to get a kill on the Sven so that you can get, Sven's down 120 seconds. He just bought back, he's got the buyback penalty, so he is screwed. They're going to be able to push this all the way. And you can see just 120 seconds later, that's what happens. 120 seconds, all of this happens. They kill Roshan, they push mid, they push top, they're able to come in mid. Mid's racks are already gone, they were to push down the top tower. He's still not up, 45 seconds. They get a kill on the Doom. Enemy team is getting hexed by GeneRal. Dendi's going to get his ultimate. By the way, Focus Fire having ridiculously low cooldown at this point. And there's nothing the enemy can do about it. They got a buyback, but the Doom's now he's down for 81 seconds. Brewmother is still not up yet, and Sven is still down for another half a minute. And look at what the enemy team was. Look at Navi's able to do in a half. The other minute that was up there. Minute 20 seconds down is death. So, what did GeneRal do this game? GeneRal was
Radiant's middle tower has
a
fallen.
scout. At first in the lane, he was a nuisance. He was somebody who pushed people out of the lane. He was able to actually establish lane dominance by himself. Not really by himself. He did have an IO. I will say that. He had a supporting IO that was able to give a lot of health and brief mana regeneration so that he could stay in lane, keep casting his his sticky napalms, keep putting pressure on the enemy, survive potentially a gank. Kind of like the way that Artstyle did in the previous video with the Voodoo Restoration Witch Doctor. He just constantly had heals going up. And so he was able to put a lot of pressure on this Sven early on. And I think Sven was still farmed as hell at the end of the game. Sven had... I can't really tell. But I know he had a lot of items. Look at 24 kills, only 11 deaths. Sven did a very good job in this game. But, you know, he put a lot of pressure on Sven. He probably delayed Sven significantly, let the Ursa get a significant advantage. And you saw that mono-to-mono fight, you know. Ursa won. Now, he was 3 versus 1 largely, and then he had already started the fight off with a really nice ultimate on Sven. And Sven probably did not have his god strength like he really should have if he were going to go into that fight. So that was potentially a bad decision by Polarity there. If they didn't have the advantage and they were going to lose the fight, they shouldn't have been in there. He should have blinked in. But you know, the flaming that pressure in lane was able to give Ursa a lead. The gank, every single time that Sven died in this game, I think it was because Batrider flaming lassoed Sven and pulled him back. And I think every time Navi got team-wiped in this game, or close to it, it was because Batrider got somebody else. Batrider went on a target like Broodmother. You know, but I should say that was only after later in the game when the enemy team Polarity was running around as 5. Batrider also served a very important purpose of being able to counter that Broodmother. And I kind of showed you how he was doing that. He got a Shadow Blade, chose to do it that route. I'm surprised he was going to get a gem. First, I guess he decided that he wanted to be able to get the ability to surprise the Broodmother before. In addition to the vision, I thought he already potentially had that with the Blink Dagger. He already had the Firefly, so he could get in position potentially to do that. But nevertheless, he chose to do the Shadow Blade route. I'm not sure it was worth it. He ended up selling that so he could go for a Hex. So he's, you know, he played a role in countering the Broodmother as well. He was a scout around Roshan. He was always looking. He was dewarding because he had a gem most of the game, which is one of maybe his most valuable contributions. They're playing gem wars, playing ward wars, and he was winning the battle for them, always having that unobstructed vision, always flying over things, having that really good escapability with his BKB, his blink, and his force staff. He was able to get the hell out of dodge. He did have a Shadow Blade for a while, so there is a potential extra benefit to that Shadow Blade build there. And the other thing he really did for this team is he was able to put himself as a scout out there aggressively, not just defensively around Roshan, not just to deward, but also aggressively to get ganks, but only because of this IO. He goes in there and he blinks in, and he was to get a lasso. What good does that do unless you've got an IO with an Ursa attached or a Dendi attached with the really nice ultimate? Be able to shackle shot and blow somebody up with Dendi ultimate. So I think that this is an example of why it sucks to play Batrider in pubs, because you need team play, you need the right setup, you need to be able to use his scouting abilities to the maximum advantage. He's good in lane, he can do well in lane, but he did need a little bit of support from the IO to kind of do what he did. He's good at being able to punish really tanky heroes that really require, you know, especially if you can shut down the Sven, where's the damage coming from Polarity? There's no damage. So it's not just being able to kill the Sven, it's being able to disable the Sven that was so powerful. And that vision game, you know, that was really good. Being able to move quickly around the map, get those ganks when you got good vision, you know the enemy's not around. It's also about warding. He didn't have any wards. He wasn't in position 3, he was a core here. So he did have that advantage. So good luck being in a pub game where you have the ability, you know, you actually don't have to buy a ward. Good luck being in a pub match that actually follows up your attacks and so on and so forth. Nevertheless, if you are in a team and maybe you're playing with some friends, you can go ahead and roll an IO out there, get an Ursa or some other beefy core that's able to blow somebody up pretty quickly, and then have your Batrider go out and scout around and deward and get yourself some ganks and disable the enemy's big hopefully physical damage dealer in this case, which is a God Strength Sven. I hope you all enjoyed the cast. From one scrub to another, good luck and have fun.